Hey, what are you doing with that thing in here?
Indoor swimming?
No way. Take it out of here.
Mom.
And cut. Yeah, that's nice.
ITV and Diet Coke presented Movie Premiere.
If there's life after death, would you like to meet a few neighbors?
Beetlejuice!
He knows how to really live.
You don't want his help.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Welcome!
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this? You like it? You guys are really a couple of spooksters, aren't you?
They're the life and soul of the party and dying to meet you. The midweek film special Beetlejuice, Wednesday at 9 on Granada.
It's showtime.
At 11:15 tonight, Sue Lawley presents the first of 3 programmes on crime, looking at the crimes that we fear most. And at 12:45, there's World Championship Boxing from North Dakota.
Discover lashes that are fatter than ever with new improved 2,000-calorie mascara. Twice as rich for lashes twice as fat. Only from Max Factor International.
Hi guys, how'd you like a promotion?
Promotion?
Free cinema tickets. There are 15,000 pairs of free instant win Odeon cinema tickets to be won in lucky bags of quavers, plus a million other free prizes. Can you make that work in 20 seconds?
There are 15,000 pairs of free instant win Odeon cinema tickets to be won in lucky packs of quavers, plus a million other free prizes.
Easy, no problem.
The distinctive personality and dramatic good looks of the 155 embody the spirit and tradition that is uniquely Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo 155. Declare your independence. Ring 0800 718 8000 to turn fantasy into affordable reality.
Every year, thousands of young British women seize the chance to go wild in the sun.
Lots to do on a night. Bars open till 8 o'clock in the morning, all the rest of it. Loads of gorgeous lads.
But to the locals, holiday high spirits often lead to more than just straightforward fun.
Everyone went behind me and grabbed me across here, and they were swearing at us and calling us English slags and everything like that.
Are British women flirting with danger? World in Action, Monday at 8:30.
This is Granada, now at 11 o'clock. The news from ITN.
Good evening. The headlines from ITN. American airdrops to Rwanda's refugees begin, but are they a waste of time? A huge explosion rocks a Welsh refinery. More blasts are feared. Abby Humphrey's parents say her kidnap already seems unreal. And fines for Atherton and humiliation for his England team. US transport planes began airdropping food supplies to Rwandan refugee camps in Zaire today. But the latest aid effort was criticised by some charity workers as a stunt and a waste of resources after the supplies missed their target. Despite the criticism, the aid operation's now gathering pace. Vital equipment is arriving in the camps, from Israel, a field hospital, from America, A-team water purification units, from Germany, purification units and trucks to carry the aid.
Aid workers call it the distribution system of last resort. The Americans this afternoon organising an airdrop of emergency aid near the Hutu refugee camp at Kitale. It is the first sign of a US presence in the humanitarian work here. Some officials are critical of airdrops as a means of delivering food. 19 aircraft have arrived in Goma today, filled with humanitarian aid. Not enough, not nearly, but visible here finally are the beginnings of an accelerating relief effort. British assistance is also coming, but perhaps not always the right aid. A plane of blankets, when food and especially water tankers and purification units are the absolute priority.
There will be thousands of deaths that will be inevitable, but that doesn't mean, of course, that we have to stop. We have to keep on working full speed every day until we can change the trend.
In the field, it is still a desperate struggle. Aid agencies are now estimating that up to 1,500 refugees are dying every day, mostly from the cholera epidemic. The greatest hope for the Hutu refugees came this afternoon, when the border into Rwanda was opened up and thousands walked over the frontier, going home. Despite the positive signs at the airport, so far there is little progress visible in the camps themselves. The estimation is that 70,000 people might die if the cholera cannot be contained.
Hopes of an early end to violence in Northern Ireland faded tonight as Sinn Féin moved close to rejection of the Downing Street peace declaration. 800 delegates of Sinn Féin, the political arm of the IRA, met at a special conference in the Irish Republic. The Sinn Féin President Gerry Adams dismissed parts of the peace declaration as negative and contradictory.
After a day spent debating the final wording, in secret, the media excluded, Sinn Féin tonight finally gave its response to the Downing Street declaration. Under the government ban, we cannot broadcast Mr. Adams's voice, but he did welcome some aspects of the declaration, saying it represented a change in the approach of the British and Irish governments. But he said it didn't go far enough, particularly on what Sinn Féin calls the unionist veto. The declaration does make it clear the constitutional status of Northern Ireland cannot be changed without the consent of the majority. Mr. Adams said it is the majority in the whole of Ireland that must count. He talked of moving the process forward, of bridging the gaps, but his message appeared to be blunt. This is not enough to stop IRA violence. Both the British and Irish governments feel they've put a great deal of effort into addressing Republican concerns. They'll be disappointed by tonight's response and perhaps tempted to review their strategy. But though the meeting today here was significant, the key decisions are taken elsewhere. There's been much speculation about a ceasefire, and the IRA will want to keep the two governments guessing. Tom Bradby, ITN, in Letterkenny.
Firefighters tackling a blaze at an oil refinery in Pembrokeshire were tonight evacuated following fears of more explosions. A spokesman for Texaco said the blaze was being allowed to burn out under controlled conditions.
Sending flames across the 500-acre refinery, an explosion which could be heard over 10 miles away. Over 100 firefighters struggled to fight the blaze. At one stage, a series of smaller explosions ripped through the complex. As the flames spread even further, the firefighters were forced to retreat to safety. For miles around the complex, shockwaves from the blast shook houses and shattered windows. The ambulance service say there are only a handful of casualties.